Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another tropical weather outlook on now Hurricane Eric. Eric became a hurricane at the 8 a.m. advisory today, just about 2 hours after I woke up, and is currently 10:43 a.m. and the 11 o'clock advisory has just released. So, Eric has begun rapidly intensifying and forecast to become a major hurricane, expected to bring damaging winds and life-threatening flash flooding to portions of southern Mexico late tonight and Thursday. So it's moving northwest at 8 miles an hour now, so it's sped up a bit. Pressure is at 984 millibars here, and the maximum sustained winds have increased to 85 miles an hour. And there's a tornado watch for Illinois and Missouri. That's fun. Let's go into the advisory here. So the sun is about 130 miles south-southeast of Puerto Angel, Mexico, or about 240 miles southeast of Punta Maldonado, Mexico. Once again, maximum sustained winds are at 85 miles an hour. The storm is moving northwest at 8 miles an hour. So, the government. So there are some changes with this advisory here. The government of Mexico has issued a tropical storm warning west of Acapulco to Tecpan de Galena, and the hurricane watch from east of Puerto Angel to Bajías de Huatulco has been discontinued. So, the summary of watches and warnings that are currently in effect right now. A hurricane warning is in effect for Acapulco to Puerto Angel. A hurricane watch is in effect for west of Acapulco to Tecpan de Galena. Tropical storm warnings in effect for east of Puerto Angel to Salina Cruz and west of Acapulco to Tecpan de Galena. Hurricane warning means that hurricane conditions are expected somewhere within the warning area. Preparations to protect life and property should be rushed to completion. A hurricane watch means that hurricane conditions are possible within the watch area, in this case within the next 36 hours. Oh, excuse me. Tropical storm warning means that tropical storm conditions are expected somewhere within the warning area within 36 hours. Interests elsewhere in southern Mexico should monitor the progress of Eric. For storm information specific to your area, please monitor products issued by your National Meteorological Service. So, going into the discussion and outlook. At 9 a.m. CST, or 1500 UTC, the center of Hurricane Eric was located near latitude 13.9 north, longitude 96.0 west. Eric is moving toward the west northwest near 8 miles an hour. A northwestern motion with a gradual increase in forward speed is expected later today or tonight. On the forecast track, the center of Eric is expected to approach the coast of southern Mexico late tonight and move inland or be near the coast on Thursday. Eric is rapidly intensifying with maximum sustained winds. Let me rephrase that. Eric is rapidly intensifying and maximum sustained winds have increased near 85 miles an hour with higher gusts. Rapid strengthening is expected to continue today, and Eric is forecast to reach major hurricane strength tonight or early Thursday as it approaches the coast of southern Mexico. Hurricane force winds extend outward up to 15 miles from the center, and tropical storm force winds extend outward up to 70 miles. Then the estimated minimum central pressure is 984 millibars. Also, as a reminder, we do have recon flights going out to Erick today. So that's going to be interesting to see what they find here. So the hazards affecting land. Rainfall. Erick will produce rainfall totals of 8 to 16 inches, with maximum totals of 20 inches across the Mexican states of Oaxaca and Guerrero. This rainfall will lead to life-threatening flooding and mudslides, especially in areas of steep terrain. Rainfall totals of 2 to 4 inches, with maximum totals of 6 inches, are expected across Guatemala and the Mexican states of Chiapas, Michoacan, Colima, Jalisco, and Mexico City. Then we'll take a look at the rainfall graphic here in a second. Oh gosh, I don't know why I'm yawning so much this morning. Wind. Hurricane conditions are expected in the hurricane warning area early Thursday and possible in the hurricane watch area on Thursday. Tropical storm conditions are expected to begin in the warning area by this evening or overnight, and preparations to protect life and property should be rushed to completion. Tropical storm conditions are expected in the tropical storm warning area beginning late today and tonight. Storm surge. A dangerous storm surge is expected to produce coastal flooding near and to the east of where the center across the coast and areas of onshore winds. Surge will be accompanied by large and destructive waves. Surf. Not surfs. Jeez. Swells generated by Erick will continue affecting the coast of southern Mexico through Thursday. These swells are likely to cause life-threatening surf and rip current conditions. Please consult products of your local weather office. Then the next intermediate advisory is at 2 p.m. and then the next full advisory is at 5 p.m. I will not be able to cover those here on the channel because I will be at work. However, that's what they're saying. Let's jump over to the forecast advisory here. They're now expecting a 100 knot peak here. We put that in. That is a 115 mile an hour hurricane now that they're expecting. That's a mid-end Category 3 hurricane here on its first Simpson hurricane wind scale, which is very interesting. I do believe that Erick does have the potential to get up to a Category 4 hurricane before it makes landfall. There is that chance. It's a slim chance, but it is a chance. So, let's take a look at the cone here. And as you can see, 6 a.m. Thursday is still when we are expecting the storm to make landfall here. So I will be live at about 8:30 a.m. tomorrow. Hopefully, if I remember to wake up, which is always questionable. But that's the current time frame that I'm thinking of going live for the storm. Obviously, we won't be able to use Radar or Mega or anything like that for the landfall like we would in like the Atlantic, because there isn't radars available down here. But yeah, that's that. Key messages here. Let's go over that. Erick is rapidly intensifying and is expected to be a major hurricane when it reaches the coast of western Oaxaca or eastern Guerrero within the hurricane warning area on Thursday. Devastating wind damage is possible where the core of the system moves onshore, Preparations to protect life and property should be rushed to completion. Erick will produce heavy rainfall across portions of Central America and southwest Mexico through this week. Life-threatening flooding and mudslides are likely, especially in areas of steep terrain. And a dangerous storm surge is expected to reduce coastal flooding near and to the east of where the onshore. Bleh. Dangerous storm surge is expected to produce coastal flooding near and to the east of where the center crosses the coast in areas of onshore winds. For information, go to hurricanes.gov. This is where I'm getting all of this information from nhc.noaa.gov. That is the best place to get information during hurricane season. Or heck, even after hurricane season's over. Because we can still get tropical systems in the off season. Let's take a look at the cone. Wait, we already took a look at the cone. Take a look at the wind history here. Obviously, this is the area. The red is the area where the hurricane warning is. Not hurricane. That's where the hurricane force winds are here, outlined in the red. And then the orange is tropical storm force winds. As you can see here, I don't know what time this was, but you can really tell when the storm became more congealed, more tropical storm like. Because if you remember in yesterday's video, or I guess early this morning's video, I said how earlier the storm was lopsided and how it had all of the tropical storm force winds on the western side of the system. And that's indicated right in this area right here. That's where when the storm was lopsided and had all the winds to the western side of the system. That has since fixed itself, and obviously now we have a rapidly intensifying storm on our hands. So let's jump on over to the rainfall graphic. Nothing's really changed here. 16-20 feet, not feet. 16-20 inches is still expected for most of the coastline of Oaxaca. And that has subtly changed here in the Guerrero coastline. But now what we are going to do is take a look at the satellite imagery for Hurricane Erick here. And we do have an eye here now on radar. We do have an eye right there. See it pop out there, and then it's becoming more well defined. Take a look at the visible high res. Oh yeah, that is starting to pop out. Visible. The eye pops out right at the last frame there. If that can clear itself out, I think it's going to be a rapid intensification. Almost to the likes of Barrel last year. And like I said, this thing still has pretty much a day left over the water. And I do believe that if the storm moves to the right hand side of the cone here, let me pull it up here. if it sticks to like this side of the cone, it probably adds another 12 hours or so to the actual time it has over the water, which is extremely nice. Nice for the storm, not nice to the people who live in the state of Oaxaca or Guerrero. Because if the thing stays on the left hand side of the cone here, it's going to make landfall in Guerrero. And I could honestly see that hurricane and tropical storm. I could honestly see this hurricane watch that's in effect here to be extended into hurricane warning. Probably the tropical storm watch would be discontinued if it were to become, if this area here were to go under a hurricane warning. The tropical storm warning and the tropical storm watch would likely be discontinued or canceled. Hmm. So, last thing I want to do here is just take a look at the water vapor. And I'm also going to take a look at the Dover here as well, because I haven't taken a look at that yet this season. Oh, yeah. That's definitely an eye here. That's most definitely an eye. And look at that. It has that classic hurricane feature now. These bands coming out of the storm. The oh my god. I'm blanking on what that's called. It's not confluence bands. It's oh my gosh, what's that called? Oh my gosh. What is that? It's going to hit me as soon as I leave for work. But yeah, still has moisture around it. It can. The storm is working with amazing conditions. But obviously, as the National Hurricane Center said, they expect it to rapidly intensify here. I, I still believe that there's a high potential of getting a Category 4 hurricane out of this. I believe it'll probably be a low end Category 4, so 130, 135. But I do believe that there is the potential to get a Category 4 out of the system. Which, for the first, like, landfalling hurricane here of the season, that's not great at all to see that. So I hope you guys in Oaxaca and Guerrero are taking this seriously. Once again, if you don't want to come to the U.S. to evacuate, just go north. Go north into like into Mexico City or somewhere near there. Just get out of the states of Oaxaca and Guerrero. However, with that being said, guys, that'll do it for the video today. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll have a video up again tonight for the 11 p.m. advisory, as that's the next time I'll be able to record. And then stay tuned for the landfall live stream tomorrow here on the channel. We'll be going live at about 8:30 ish. I'll see what time. I'll take a look at new cones. The new cone at 5 o'clock and the new cone at 11 o'clock as well. And tonight I'll have a better idea of when I'll be going live tomorrow morning for the landfall of the system. With that being said, guys, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you all in tonight's video. Until then, guys, peace out.